When you first think of the name Ben Franklin, a lot of people think of the $100 bill, uh, the America's Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and maybe even electricity. But not a lot of people think about his involvement in the communication field. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how he's impacted the communication field and how it stands to this day through his various inventions. So first was his involvement in the United States Postal Service. He was a postmaster. And through his various involvements in that time, he created postal routes that spread all across the United States. From Florida to Maine, Philadelphia to New York. It really gave a broad aspect to mail routes and for mail to get to places faster. And by the time that Congressman Samuel Osgood became the postmaster, there was already about 75 postal offices in the United States. And now there are over 40,000 post offices in America, and they deliver over 200 billion pieces of mail each year because of his inventions and involvement and overall just upgrading the United States Postal Service. Also, one of his big inventions was bifocals. As he grew older in age, he realized that his vision was, not as good as it was whenever he was younger. And he thought that whenever he would be reading something, that he needs to be able to look closer, but also if he's looking far away, he needs to be able to see what he's looking at. So he created the bifocals, and to this day, millions of people are using bifocals to this day because of that. And his last involvement was political cartoons. And with political cartoons to this day, they, especially in World War II propaganda, they were a very large part of the political cartoons. And in 1752, the American colonies were on the brink of sparking a war with France. And Franklin believed that a defense union was very important in protecting colonial civilians from French attacks. His monumental drawing, Join or Die, later made a comeback in the Revolutionary War, and to this day, over 300 cartoons are being published in newspapers every day. So not only are cartoons being used in war-related situations, but also in just everyday newspaper and things such as that. So Benjamin Franklin and the Join or Die, this is what it looks like exactly. Such as that. It's a very broad and almost legendary piece of artwork that everybody knows of nowadays. And so I say all this to say this. Franklin's inventions have impacted the United States over many years, and still to this day, we use the bifocals, we still use political cartoons, and every day mail is being brought out. So it was very important that we look at today or where we at with these little things, and honestly, it would be harder to live without those. And how has this impacted the human communication field? Well, letters back then was pretty much the only way to communicate to people from long distances. You couldn't pick up a phone and talk to them. So letters were used a lot. And so nowadays we may send Christmas cards, or even whenever we buy things off the internet, mail that is brought to our houses. And a lot of people nowadays are using online websites to buy items such as that. And the bifocals we can now, people who have impaired vision, of course, now they can read books, newspapers, given the political cartoons and such as that. But the bifocals are just easier ways to read and communicate with other people, such as that. And then lastly, the political cartoons, of course, not only are they used in war times or maybe even political campaigns, but also just, sketches and drawings and newspapers, for jokes and comics as well. All that was impacted by his original Join or Die poster. So finally, Ben Franklin's impact in the United States, just aside from that, has been far greater than we can imagine. It's really known to, we really don't think about how much he's impacted the United States through his various inventions and things such as that. Thank you.